Boris Johnson has just concluded his speech to the Conservative Party faithful. He has essentially presented a take it or leave it version of a Brexit deal. The absolute detail comes out throughout the night, and Laura and Pete will have that for you in greater detail tomorrow. But as for the rhetoric, his speech was kind of pretty funny. I like when Boris Johnson talks like this.
I feel sometimes we're like a world-class athlete with a pebble in our shoe. There is one part of the British system that seems to be on the blink. If Parliament were a laptop, then the screen would be showing, I'm afraid, the pizza wheel of doom. If Parliament were a reality TV show, then the whole lot of us, I'm afraid, would have been voted out of the jungle by now. But at least we'd have had the consolation of watching the Speaker being forced to eat a kangaroo testicle. The sad truth is that voters have more say. Voters have more say over I'm a celebrity than they do over this House of Commons, which refuses to deliver Brexit, refuses to do anything constructive, and refuses to have an election. Just at the moment, when voters are desperate for us to focus on their priorities, we're continuing to chew the super-masticated subject of Brexit, when what people want, what Leavers want, what Remainers want, what the whole world wants, is to be calmly and sensibly done with the subject and to move on.
Amanda, it doesn't matter whether it's the UK, it's the US or Australia. Yeah. If you are funny, people will listen. And even if there's all sorts of difficulties and detail and problems that lay in front of him, when you're funny, people think, you know what, I'm fine for this person to run the show.
Yep, and when they've been confronted with politicians catastrophising Brexit for so many months, the contrast is so refreshing and will just get people to switch on and pay attention and get on board in a way that all of the negativity never could.
Yeah, it's this thing where, Stephen, I know he's not going to be your political cup of tea, and clearly Jeremy Corbyn is well and truly not your cup of tea. But look, at some point in time there's an election. There's all sorts of things that happen between now and when that takes place. But I just can't see Boris Johnson being fatally wounded by the Brexit process when his thesis all the way through is, you voted for it 3 years ago, we want it to happen, we'll go to the EU one more time, but if they're going to be inflexible, then guess what? Out we go and we'll slowly build it back from there.
Oh, look, totally. I think Boris Johnson is showing that he's prepared to support the will of the British people. I think they will ultimately return the favour. I think Corbyn is it's just unbelievable. He actually has refused to vote for an early election. When was the last time an opposition leader voted against an early election, for God's sake? He goes to his party conference last week and says the biggest issue in the country is going to be, Brexit, but we're not going to have a view on it. We'll come back to you after the election when we've been elected. I mean, seriously, the man is a fool and he is unfit to lead the Labor Party and unfit to be the Prime Minister of the UK. And he'll get and lead Australia, the British Labor Party to a disastrous defeat that will resonate for many years.